This woman right here's got a problem, and I'm gonna solve it. Oh. Right?
Right.
Alright, the problem we've got is the old one is made of plastic and is broke. That's the problem we got. So we bought a new one, which is also made of plastic, and hopefully it won't be broke. Anyway, now I gotta tear apart the door panel. She's sitting there watching YouTube videos while I'm working. I popped off this and that and this. You know, it occurs to me it might be useful for somebody to see this. You just pry that up pretty easy with a little plastic pry bar. Oops, and I dropped it on the ground. And then this, you just take a pick, stick it in there and pop that plastic out, and this slides right off. And then the rest of the stuff just pops off pretty easy. There's one piece in there, this piece, and that piece goes in there, which exposes one 10 millimeter bolt and one there. And then we'll see what we gotta do next. Alright, there's the door panel. You can see what kind of doodads it's got on it. If you just get you some of them plastic pry bars, it pops apart real easy. And she's watching Mr. Heavy Chevy videos, some of the most entertaining ones on the planet.
Of course.
Well, one guy said, I don't know how anybody could subscribe and watch this boring drivel, I think is the word he used, drivel.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, to each its own.
That's right. Don't
He
have to
can go on
watch
his
it.
merry way. He doesn't have to watch.
That's right. Alright, now we're finally at it. We're down to the meat and potatoes of the project, so to speak. I think right there. Oh yeah, there's a bolt. And there's a bolt. And there's what's left of the door handle right there. Huh. She's distracting me. Alright, I gotta stay focused here. I'm gonna make herself useful and hold the nut on the back side. Now you slip that little rod in there, you slip it in, it's real easy to do. And then we come in here, slip that in there like so. Try to do it one-handed here. And that's that. Now we put the bolts back in.
So why did it need a
What?
replacement handle?
Because it was broke on the inside. I'll show you when I get done here. There's a little tab right up in there that clips around that metal rod, and that's what works the latch. Now let's see if it works. Oh, that's success right there. Now I just got to put everything back together, right?
You're right.
Alright, you can see there I've hooked the cable back up. I've stuck my wire back through for the power windows, and now we just hook it here and put it the rest of the way back together. Alright, there. Ain't you happy, bud? We got her all done.
Yeah, well, it was a lot faster than I anticipated.
That's right. You know why?
Why?
Because I Googled it. Maybe while we're at it, we ought to see about shining up them headlights. Alright, the final step to this project is this. Alright, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I took some 500 grit and scuffed it up pretty good, and then some 1500 grit sandpaper. Wet sanded it. And now I'm using some of this stuff, which I happen to have. And, let me get the other thing. And this. Turned down to about 50 pounds of air pressure. And it seems to be doing the trick. At least for the moment. Of course, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'm sure somebody will point out where I'm going astray. Alright, there's the headlight I haven't touched. And here is the headlight I did touch. Now it's not perfect. But I think it'll keep me from having to buy a new one for a while. Plus make it look better, you know. That's what really counts. Alright, there's the finished product. I think it looks pretty good. Mama's going to take it down and wash it now. It's going to need it. Alright, this week has been kind of busy. We had a visit from famous people. Our peak. And we got this thing. A friend of mine gave it to me to use. He had it when he was a youngster. And I'm going to let my youngster use it. And then whenever he has chaps, I'm going to give it back to him. At least that's the plan. And then I got a good deal on 2 of these. That's right. This one, never run. It's got decent heads on it. Flat top piston, so it's not high compression. That was destined for a boat, I believe. The valve cover said something marine 454. And this one, obviously, is out of a truck. Now, the one in the dually is getting a little tired. It runs okay, but I think the time change wore out and probably could benefit from a cam, so I haven't made up my mind what I'm going to do, but, you know, I'm thinking about stuff. Alright, I went to digging around in my stash, and so far, this is all I've come up with for big block stuff. I do have one old ancient Holley Street Dominator single plane intake manifold, but I don't know if that's just what I need. So you know, if there's somebody out there who'd like to sponsor me with big block Chevy parts, I do have a set of headers around somewhere and a few odds and ends, but I'm thinking I'm gonna take this one and put it on my test stand and fire it up and see how it runs. And if it don't smoke and it's got compression and all that, I think I'll put a cam in it and a timing chain and put it in the dually along with a 4L80E transmission. I was going to put an LS in that thing, but you know, I don't think it's going to get much better gas mileage than that will, so. Plus, you know, it's cooler when you say you got a 454, right? Alright, you want to ring the bell? That's going to conclude this weekend's video-ins. So if you don't mind, sir. Don't forget to go to MrHeavyChevy.com, where we now have hoodies available. I said it in the last video, but we didn't have any. Now we do. So you can be part of the exclusive club. The exclusive. Fewer than 25 people in the entire universe who have Mr. Heavy Chevy apparel. So just keep that in mind.